I always find that I'm a rather intuitive composer and musician, and I have always just sort of centered intuition in what I've done. And through my education and schooling, when I would learn about how some composer at some time set themselves some strict parameters to write a piece, and it's not that I was skeptical of that. I was always curious about what that could produce, but I never felt like, oh, that somehow makes it credible, or that somehow makes it worthwhile, or that somehow makes it more valuable. I never felt that. I'd sometimes notice my colleagues in school would feel that. I don't know. That's not why I got interested in music. I got interested in music for the visceral things it would make you feel. And fundamentally, that feeling you get when you hear something you haven't heard before that you're attracted to, and you say, wow, I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know you could do that with instruments, with sound, with human bodies, with whatever your tools are. So, yeah, that's just been always kind of clear to me. And I'm sure we'll get into it. Loop 7 does have some pretty strict process stuff going on, but it's like I happened upon it and it's there. But it's not what the piece is about. The piece isn't about showing you that. That's just a thing that helps me do something.
Mm.
And it's certainly not a thing I conceived before and then wrote the piece within. My process for composing my whole life from when I was very little to this day is essentially very slowed down improvisation. It's just messing around with something, finding something, okay, sketching it out. And then I might say, okay, it looks like I have this thing which could turn into a device or a tool or become a process. And then I might see it through. Or I might not. I mean, another thing I love to do is set up a process and then just let the train get off the tracks at some point, just because,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you have any interest in music that can't be played?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think most recorded music that we hear on a day-to-day basis is music that can't be played. Essentially, a version of it can often be played. But if most music we listen to on the radio, top 40, whatever, is a studio creation, is a thing with overdubs, with effects, with whatever, chopping up audio, with things that cannot be done live. And the mixing today is as much a part of the music as the so-called music itself. That's a unique element of recorded music. So yeah, and I'm very interested in bringing that into the jazz and creative music and new music side of things, which I feel often forgets about that, ignores that, hasn't caught up with that, at least in the recorded medium. So yeah, and then I guess maybe more what your question was after. I mean, I studied with Michael Finnessy, who is known for writing some of the most difficult piano music. He also should be known for much of his other music, which he's unfortunately not as known for, which isn't all crazy hard, but he's partially known for his insanely hard piano music and pushing the boundaries of what's playable, and really interesting things can happen in that space.